This video is about warning signs of a failed marriage. First of all, this channel is created to be motivating, educative, informative, entertaining, and critical. Every marital relationship is unique. However, there are common warning signs and red flags that could indicate that there are serious problems in a marriage. If you find yourself in these concerns, do not ignore them and hope that they will simply go away. They usually do not, and when left acknowledged, they could even become respectful talk. Instead, you need to have an open, honest, and respectful talk with your spouse about the problems in your marriage. It could be a difficult conversation to have, but it is necessary. So what are the common warning signs of a marriage that is in trouble? Listening while your partner does all the talking. Then it is time for you to speak up and make yourself heard. The same goes for your partner. Most importantly, you should make it to a point where you should truly and actively listen to your partner's grievances or worries. The next one is to be sincere. If either of you is not willing to listen or compromise, then it is a clear sign that your marriage may go down the tubes. You no longer respect each other's opinions and ideas is another issue that you need to deal with. Communication plays a vital role in maintaining a healthy relationship. You should feel free to talk with your partner about almost anything, and vice versa. If your partner is not willing to respect your opinions and ideas regarding the crucial matters, then your marriage is in trouble. You will not want to continue in a relationship where you always have to set aside your own ideas just for the sake of pleasing your partner. On the flip side, do you believe that your spouse is not worthy of respect because of their values or behavior? The core of good communication patterns that promote intimacy between couples involve safe and open communications of deep thoughts and emotions, not stiffing up of ideas that leads to reactivity and superficiality. A good relationship has mutual respect. The next is that you're spending less time together. Gone are the days when both of you enjoy every bit of your time that you spend together. Now, you're beginning to feel that something has changed and it is not feeling good. What is even more alarming is if you enjoy being with your friends more than being with your partner. This issue may seem for a variety of factors, but it is a definite sign that something is wrong. Your connection with your spouse is of the utmost importance to keeping your relationship going. Next issue to look out for is that you're starting to have doubts if you're married to the right partner. Are you having doubts about the feelings of your spouse? Are you often bothered by the thought that you made a mistake agreeing to spend the most of your life with your spouse? If this is the case, it is definitely time to rethink and reassess your relationship. If certain personality traits of your partner that you once adored are now driving you insane, your marriage is in the danger zone. And if neither of you is willing to put an extra effort to make it work, as the popular saying goes, it takes two to tango. Thus, you and your partner must ensure that you're both putting on equal amount of effort into making your relationship work. If you do not part, or your partner does not even like the way you're willing to put up a required effort, then you may be headed towards splitting up. Your marriage is like a plant. It needs a lot of care, attention, nurturing in order to thrive and grow. If you notice some of these warning signs in your own relationship, it is time to take risk and discuss your fears in a healthy way with your partner. If you still have difficulty getting back on solid ground, perhaps it is time to seek professional counseling to improve your relationship. The next thing that you look at is you always criticizing each other. Sure, a little constructive criticism can be a good thing. But if you're dishing out more criticism than compliments, you're headed for trouble. Research shows that you need 5 or more positive interactions to counteract every negative one in order to keep the relationship in good terms. The next issue to look out for is that you don't have sex anymore. Everyone goes through periods of ups and downs in a bedroom. Not wanting to rip your partner's clothes off every night is no reason to panic. But if you're both physically and healthy enough to have sex, but go months or even years without it, a deeper issue like lack of emotional intimacy or romance may be the issue. Sex may not be everything, but it's an important part of a healthy romantic relationship. You have the same argument over and over and over. Arguments happen in every marriage, even healthy ones. In fact, research has suggested that couples who agree effectively are 10 times more likely to have a happy relationship than those who sweep difficult issues under the rug. But if your time together is plagued with endless reruns of the same arguments, there is no resolution chances and there is no major disconnect between the two of you. Before long, you'll start avoiding each other for the fear of sparking another argument. Next issue to look at that you don't argue anymore. As opposed to the previous point, a lack of arguing can also be a signal of a huge problem. It may seem like a relief if your high conflict relationship suddenly turns to no conflict relationship. But if the healthy arguments have stopped, it could be a sign that one or both of you have given up. Sure, a lot of argument is worrisome, but no arguing at all could mean that both of you don't think there is anything left worth fighting for in your relationship. Remember, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. Next thing is that you don't enjoy spending time together. Another red flag, you realize that you will rather spend time with anyone but your partner. Spending time apart is healthy for your relationship, but if you're constantly making excuses to spend all your free time away from your partner, you already begun the breaking up process. Next is that you start keeping secrets. It's completely normal to want to keep some things to yourself. However, deliberately keeping secrets, say you had dinner alone with a co-worker who finds you attractive, casually hang out with your ex, or bought the expensive shoes you said you wouldn't, is a clear warning sign that your relationship may be in trouble. Keeping secret only plants seed of distrust in a relationship. Once the trust is broken, it is hard to repair. Next, that you think about having an affair. It's 100% perfect normal to find someone other than your partner attractive from time to time, according to relationship experts. After all, entering a relationship doesn't switch off your normal biological functions. What's not okay is fantasizing about being with that person. If your thoughts are constantly consumed with someone you find attractive other than your partner, then you're clearly missing something in your current relationship. Next aspect to look for, that they are not the first person you call. In a healthy marriage or relationship, you see your partner as the go-to person for emotional support in good times and in bad. Though you may confide your family and friends, it is usually not the same extent as you to your partner. Your partner is, after all, your person. If your partner isn't the first person that you reach out when you're down, or to celebrate your successes, it may be a sign that something has gone wrong. My advice is that you don't wait to seek help. You feel that your problem in your marriage are unsolvable. It is time to enlist help of a professional. That said, to get most from marriage counseling, don't wait until your marriage is beyond repair. A marriage therapist can be an ally to your marriage. Rather than taking signs, they will help you and your partner to gain perspective and develop the communication skills needed to change the patterns that have kept you stuck. With their help, you and your partner can identify and change unhealthy patterns and rediscover the lost feeling of love. Right now, let's look at the conflict resolution mistakes that you need to avoid. Conversational wisdom and research says that good communication can improve relationships, increase intimacy and trust and support. The conversation is also true. Poor communication can weaken bonds, creating stress, mistrust, and even contempt. Because conflict is virtually inevitable in a relationship and necessary in a sign of trouble, you can reduce a significant amount of stress and strengthen your relationship at the same time if you build and acknowledge that skills and handle conflicts in a healthy way. Let me share some of the examples of negative and even destructive attitudes and communication patterns that can exacerbate a conflict in a relationship. Avoiding conflict altogether. Rather than discussing and building frustrations in a calm, respectful manner, some people just don't say anything to their partner until they are ready to explode and they blunt out in angry and hurtful way. This seems to be the less stressful route, avoiding an argument altogether, but usually causes more stress to both parties as tension rise, resentment fasten, and much bigger argument eventually results. It is much healthier to address and resolve the conflict. These assertive communication skills can help you to say things in a way that you'll be more likely to be heard without being disrespectful to the other person. Next is being defensive. Rather than addressing a partner's complaints with an objective eye and willingness to understand the other person's point of view, defensive people steadfastly deny the wrongdoing and work hard to avoid working at a possibility that they could be the contributing to a problem. Denying responsibility may seem to alleviate stress in the short term, but create a long-term problem where people don't feel listened to and unresolved conflicts continue to grow. Next is overgeneralizing. When something happens that they don't like, some blow it out of proportion by making sweeping generalizations. Avoid starting sentences with "you always" and "you never", as in "you always come home late" or "you never do what I want you to do." Stop and think about whether or not this is really true. Also, don't bring up past conflicts to throw the discussion off topic and stir up more negativity. This stands in a way that true conflict resolution and increases the level of conflict. Sometimes we are not aware of the ways the mind can blow things out of proportion. The list of common cognitive distortions can get in a way of a healthy relationship with others. Next thing to look at is being right. It is damaging to decide there is a right way to look at things and a wrong way to look at things, and that your way of seeing things is right. Don't demand that your partner see things the same way, and don't take it as a personal attack if they have a different opinion. Look for compromise or agree to disagree, and remember that there is not always a right or a wrong way, and that 2 points of a view can both be right. The next issue that we need to look at is psychoanalyzing and mind reading. Instead of asking your partner's thoughts, feelings, people sometimes decide that they know what their partners are thinking and feeling based only on fully interpretable of their actions, and always assumes it's negative. For example, deciding a late mate doesn't care enough to be on time, or that your tired partner is denying sex out of passive aggressiveness. This creates hostility and misunderstanding. It's important to keep in mind that we all come from a unique perspective and work hard to assume nothing. Really listen to the other party and let them explain where they are coming from. The next aspect is forgetting to listen. Some people interpret, roll their eyes, and rehearse what they are going to say next instead of truly listening and attempting to understand their partner. This keeps you from seeing their point of view and keeps your partner from wanting to see yours. Don't underestimate the importance of really listening and emphasizing with the other person. These listening skills are important to bear in mind. The other aspect is playing the blame game. Some people handle conflict by criticizing and blaming the other person for the situation. They see admitting any weakness on their part as weakening of their credibility and avoid it at all costs, and even try to shame them for being at fault. Instead, try to view conflict as an opportunity to analyze the situation objectively, assess the needs of both the parties, and come up with a solution that helps you both. Next is trying to win an argument. If people are focused on winning an argument, the relationship loses. The point of a relationship in discussion should be on a mutual understanding of coming to an argument or a resolution that respects everyone's needs. If you're making a case for how wrong the other person is, discounting their feelings and staying stuck in your point of view, you're focused in the wrong direction. Next, making character attacks. Sometimes people take up negative action from a partner and blow it into personality flaw. For example, if a husband leaves his socks lying around, looking at it as a character flaw and labels him inconsiderate and lazy, or if a woman wants to discuss a problem with a relationship, labeling her needy or controlling or too demanding. Labeling creates negative perceptions on both sides. Remember, you to respect the person even if you don't like the behavior. Other aspect to look at is stonewalling. When your partner wants to discuss troubling issues in the relationship, sometimes people defensively stonewall or refuse to talk or to listen to their partner. This shows disrespect, and in certain situations, contempt while on the same time letting the underlying conflict grow. Stonewalling solves nothing but creates hard feelings and damages relationships. It's much better to listen and discuss things in a respectful manner. We have looked at the signs of a failing marriage. Watch out for the next video as we are going to be looking at things to avoid in a marriage. If you're a fan of these types of videos, press on the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to this channel, and remember to tap on the bell so that you will be alerted by YouTube when the next video is out. Finally, if you like this video, click on the like button as it helps on the growth of the channel and the YouTube algorithms. Thank you so much.